Benvenuti alla terza parte dell'intervista a Mr. James Price. Ho posto a Mr. Price una delle vostre domande, ovvero qual è stato l'elemento di rottura tra Strasberg e Meisner. Ho avuto l'onore di ascoltare un racconto di vita vissuta, quindi ecco le parole di Mr. Price anche per voi.
And I had conversations with Sandy about this. A lot of people thought there was a rift between Meisner. He and Lee Strasberg did not have a rift. They agreed to disagree. As he said many times, he felt that Lee Strasberg's work, which is early Stanislavski, we can't just blame it on Lee, he took early Stanislavski. Well, Stanislavski, we understand, the Russian director, teacher, the theologist.
Sì.
He was into what makes this actor better than another actor? And he studied it. So he tried to create exercises. Now, his earlier books, Stanislavski's earlier books, when they got translated, of course, many years later, when they got translated into English, and Strasberg read those books, and Harold Clurman read the books, and Stella Adler, and they all based their early work in the group theater on that work. Stanislavski had already evolved away from that work. Another actress I admire who was a wonderful teacher is Uta Hagen. She wrote a book, Respect for Acting. And you read it, it's very inspirational. But 10 years later, she rewrites the book, The Challenge of the Actor. She changes some of her theories. So it's, as Sandy did, it's an ongoing evolution. So the problem was Strasberg took the early Stanislavski, was holding religiously to that work, and the group theater, a lot of the actors had problem with it. Stella Adler, Sandy, a lot of them had problems. So Stella said, I'm going to Stanislavski to talk to him. And she went to Paris, and he agreed to meet with her, and he discussed his theories with her, and she came back and said, we're doing it all wrong. Lee is doing it wrong. He's evolved away from that. And she came back with the chart that Stanislavski told her everything that could be taught to an actor and what he evolved to. You can find that chart in Method or Madness in a book by Robert Lewis, Bobby Lewis is known. Lee Strasberg didn't like that and said, well, he's changed his mind and I think he's wrong in changing it. So they said, goodbye, Lee, and he left. He never emerged again on the American theater scene until the Actors Studio became created by Elia Kazan, Cheryl Crawford, and Bobby Lewis. They asked Sandy Meisner to come teach there, but Sandy was already engaged as a teacher and said, I can't do that. They asked some other people, no. But then they went back to Lee Strasberg and said, please come, would you come work with us? And he came back, and that's where the method really started to become a name, because as Sandy told me, Lee always had a press agent. So if he had a student like Marilyn Monroe, that was getting a lot of press coverage. If he had James Dean, who walked into the actor studio for 1 month, or Brando 1 month, Brando studied with Stella Adler. You know, Robert De Niro studied with Stella Adler. A lot of people that are associated with the actor studio studied with Sandford Meisner, you know. But in the conversations Sandy had, he said, the work that he did in the 2 years, because it was a 2-year training program at the neighborhood playhouse where he was teaching, he says, okay, what can I teach them in 2 years? What is the most important things for them to learn in 2 years? And that's where he started to devise his system of developing actors. He told me, if I had a 3rd year to do, maybe I would do some of the Strasberg object relaxation. He said, maybe I would do some of that. You know, study the object to really focus on your concentration. I think what Sandy did was actually more ingenious. He made the object the other human being. Keep your attention on them. Really study them. Watch them. See everything. See more than the average person sees. You know. So he said, people think they didn't get along. They did get along. They were friends until, you know, Lee died. You know, and then, of course, Sandy passed away. But the one complaint, Sandy felt an actor by his nature was introverted, and he felt Strasberg's approach made them more introverted, made them go deeper inside themselves. And Sandy didn't want that. It's already in there. I need them to come outside of themselves, you know.